Shalom Ve'erev Tov, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Meanwhile, in the wake of a clear rise in anti-Semitism, a number of countries are taking a more proactive stance against supporters of Islamist terrorism in their respective countries, to include the United Kingdom. Earlier this week, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer pledged to take action to ensure the security of Britain's Jewish community.
We do come together to celebrate Hanukkah, but we also come to stand together in solidarity, because I know the whole community has been shaken once again, not for the first time, by the abhorrent attack on Bondi Beach. And once again, Jewish people killed for being Jewish. We do need laws, of course we do, but we need more than that. We need to stand together in defence of the Jewish way of life, of the liberties and freedoms that make our British way of life.
Among others, chants by Islamists such as globalize the Intifada will no longer be tolerated in Britain, and the House of Commons will act to amend legislation to ensure those promoting jihad are no longer tolerated.
Current laws are inadequate, and we welcome the fact the Home Secretary has asked Lord Ken MacDonald KC to review the current public order and hate crime legislation. The words and chants used, especially in protests, matter, and they have real-world consequences. We have consistently been advised by CPS that many of the phrases causing concern to Jewish communities don't meet prosecution thresholds. However, now, in the escalating threat context, we will recalibrate our operational actions to be more assertive. We know communities are concerned about placards and chants such as globalize the Intifada, and those using it at future protests or in a targeted way should expect the Met or Greater Manchester Police to take immediate action. Violence acts have taken place. The context has changed. Words have meanings. Words have consequences. We will act decisively. We will make arrests. Frontline officers will be briefed on this enhanced approach. We'll also use powers under the Public Order Act, including conditions around the synagogues during services, to put further restrictions on protests.
Britain's Met Police Commissioner continued by stressing London's unambiguous intentions.
Our intent is clear: create a hostile environment for offenders and a safer environment for Jewish communities, whilst at the same time protecting lawful protest. All members of society are responsible to consider their own impact on others. It is perfectly possible to protest in support of Palestinian people without intimidating Jewish communities or breaking the law.
It is worth noting that when it relates to anti-Semitism, Germany currently leads in relevant legislation to root out the disease. Similarly, after a spike in blatant pro-jihadist, anti-Jewish, and anti-Western protests plaguing the United States, the Trump administration has gone on the offensive, with President Donald Trump pledging that the United States of America will protect its Jewish citizens. Speaking on this matter, the Deputy Assistant to the President and Senior Director for Counterterrorism in the White House, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, in an address to the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C., explained the White House's view of jihadism.
Jihadism is just another form of totalitarianism. The symbols may change, the narrative may be slightly different, but at the end of the day, whether it's the Third Reich, whether it's a Stalinist communist regime, or whether it is Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, or ISIS, these are all totalitarian ideologies that preach one thing: we will kill you or we will enslave you.
Dr. Golka continued by explaining the threat of anti-Semitism to Western civilization at large, and the United States in particular.
You need to understand what anti-Semitism, what Jew hatred, is really about. It's not about the Jews. It's about Christianity and the Jews. Go back and read the German philosophers. Understand what Nietzsche was saying. What were their critiques of Judaism? Well, they said the problem with it is from Judaism we got what? That famous Jew called Jesus, who gave us Christianity. And what's the problem with Christianity according to the German philosophers? It's a slave theology. You do what? You promote weakness. The servant is more important than the master. It's not triumph of the will, some Nietzschean Superman. No, it's the opposite of that. Christianity is about love, not power. And the anti-Semite is in fact galled by the fact that Judaism brought us what? Monotheism and objective truth. The modern German philosopher said what? There is no objective truth. There is Macht, there is power, there is will. Christianity says the opposite. We have a relationship with the Creator who is the truth. The rejection of the Jew is the rejection of the West. It is the rejection of Christianity as well. That is why we care. That is why we just designated the Muslim Brotherhood.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. To keep you informed on our social media platforms, so from me and the team here in Jerusalem, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom initially,